Hello, little friends, and welcome back to TinyNest Stories. Today, we have a wonderful tale about a very brave Viking named Leif. Are you ready? Let's begin. After a long time of fighting, peace finally bloomed between Norway and England, and at the heart of this peace was a young Viking, Leif the Brave. When his ship sailed back home, the entire village gathered at the shore, cheering his name. Leif has brought us peace, they shouted with joy. He is the Viking who turned our enemies into friends. Word of Leif's bravery reached the king of Norway himself. The king sent a royal messenger with a special invitation. Bring the boy to me. I wish to meet the one who turned war into friendship. Leif, accompanied by his proud father, traveled to the king's grand wooden hall. Inside, a huge fire crackled, casting dancing shadows on walls carved with tales of ancient battles. The king, with a kind smile, looked down at Leif. You are brave, young one, he said, his voice echoing in the great hall. But tell me, what do you believe makes a warrior truly strong? Leif bowed his head respectfully and answered in a clear, soft voice. It is not the sword that makes us strong, my king. It is the heart that knows when it is time to put the sword down. The king was silent for a moment, his eyes thoughtful. Then, he stood up and took off his own gleaming golden arm ring, placing it gently on Leif's wrist. You speak with wisdom far beyond your years, the king declared. You have taught us all a valuable lesson, that peace can win far greater honor than any war. A few days later, a ship brought a message from across the sea from England. It was a letter from the young boy with the wooden flute whom Leif had befriended. The letter read, Dear Leif, our people are building ships too, but not for battle. We are building them to visit you again. Let us trade stories, songs, and friendship. Leif's eyes sparkled with happiness as he read the words. A friendship between our kingdoms, he whispered to himself, like sunlight spreading over the sea. When the English ships finally arrived, the two villages met on the shore not as enemies, but as friends. They exchanged gifts of bread, wool, and fish, and sat together around a warm bonfire. Sharing stories and laughter, children from both lands played together on the beach, their joyful shouts mixing with the sound of the waves. But not everyone was happy. A grumpy old Viking named Bjorn muttered to his friends, Vikings should not laugh with their old enemies. What if this is a trick? What if they betray us? The very night, as if the sky itself was angry, a fierce storm rolled in from the sea. The wind howled like a wolf, and massive waves crashed against the shore. Suddenly, one of the English ships broke free from its mooring. Help! The English sailors cried out as their ship was tossed about by the storm. Without a second thought, Leif ran toward the chaos. Quick, the rope! Grab the rope! He yelled to the others. He fearlessly dove into the freezing, churning water. The powerful waves tried to pull him under, but he held on tight to the rope. Seeing his courage, Bjorn and the other Vikings rushed to help. Together, they pulled with all their might, and slowly, they brought the ship safely back to the dock. When the storm finally passed, Bjorn looked at Leif, his face full of awe. I was wrong about you, boy, he said softly. You risked your own life to save those we once called enemies. You truly are brave. Leif smiled, his hair dripping with seawater. They're not our enemies anymore, Bjorn, he replied warmly. They're our friends. The next morning, the English boy played a cheerful tune on his flute, and this time, the Vikings joined in with the steady beat of their drums. The beautiful music echoed through the fjords. A new song carried on the wind, a song of peace, trade, and friendship. Years passed, but people never forgot the story of Leif the Brave, the Viking who proved that peace is mightier than any sword. And whenever ships sailed between Norway and England, the sailors would look out at the water and whisper, This sea remembers Leif. And that's the end of our story. Always remember, little friends, that being brave isn't just about fighting. True bravery is about standing up for what is right, being kind, and helping others, even when it's hard. If you loved our story today, please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to TinyNest Stories and tap the little bell icon so you'll be the first to know when we have a new adventure to share. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.